Okay, so you're a male audiobook narrator and you are narrating a book that has some female characters in it. How do you make your voice sound female? In this video, I'll show you how. I'm Andy, the audiobook narrator, and stick with me to the end of the video because first I'll show you how to adapt your voice for female characters without using any technical effect in Audacity. And towards the end, I'll show you how you can use as an option a neat Audacity effect to raise the pitch of your voice. Now, I have listened to hundreds of audiobooks in recent years, and many male narrators either don't bother to change their voice when portraying a female character, or they attempt to do so by speaking in a high, almost squeaky tone and sound pretty ridiculous, even comical, and often their female voices all sound the same. Now, I count myself lucky because I have a mid-range male voice. It isn't deep and it's not that high-pitched either. So I don't have so far to go to raise the pitch for a female character as a narrator with a deep baritone voice would have to do. So, if like me, you're mid-range, you should be able to make your voice sound more female with a little bit of effort and imagination, but don't overdo it. Some women have deepish voices anyway, so you can afford to vary the voices of the female characters in your book. And coming over as a female is certainly not just about the voice. Like any other character, you need to act out that character's personality, and you can combine that with changing your voice to make the adaptation even more convincing. If you read the book entirely before you started narrating it, which you should do, you'll know the characters and you'll take a view on how their voices should sound. So don't just make your voice higher or squeaky like I did a moment ago. Get into character. Make your voice a little softer maybe, and if the female character is in dialogue with a male character and the voice is notably different from the male character, then it should work. And check out another video I produced recently entitled How to Create Thousands of Character Voices for Your Audiobooks, because the principles outlined in that video can apply just the same when you are doing a female voice. The link to that video is in the notes below. Now, here is a sample from a book I narrated 3 years or so ago called Grey Resurrection, written by the excellent thriller writer Alan McDermott. And it includes one male character and one female character in dialogue. Take a listen. She grabbed his arms, her grip surprisingly strong. "I'm Vic," she said. "Vic Phillips." "Vic?" Grant looked confused. "Short for Victoria," she explained. "Ah, I see. Sam Grant. How long have you all been here?" Vic gestured to the men. "Robert Moore and I have been here since January, and Eddie Holton arrived about 3 weeks later." "What about the others?" he asked, looking beyond the trio. "The Chinese couple have been here for about 2 months and don't speak a word of English, and the Filipinos..." So, in summary, don't squeak, don't raise your voice too high unless that is appropriate for the character. Concentrate on the character's personality, soften the voice a little maybe, perhaps raise it a tad, and practice it to get it right before you start recording, and do your research by listening to lots of different female voices. YouTube videos should give you plenty of material. Now, in the sample you just heard, I didn't use any voice effects, but if you just can't do a female voice convincingly enough, then there is an effect in Audacity that can help you. I sometimes use it, but I don't always and didn't in that sample. But if you are a male narrator with a deep voice, you may have to use it more often, and maybe you'll decide to do so every time you do a female character's voice. It's called change pitch, and this is how you use it. So I'm in Audacity now and I've loaded the same passage I played earlier, but this time I've delivered the female character in my normal voice without trying to sound too female. Let's listen to a snippet of it as it is now.
Ah, I see. Sam Grant. How long have you all been here? Vic gestured to the two men. Robert Moore and I have been here since January, and Eddie Holton arrived about 3 weeks later.
Okay, so I'm now going to show you how to change the pitch of just the female voice. So first, what you need to do is to identify where the female voice is. So let's just start playing it.
She grabbed his arms, her grip surprisingly strong. I'm Vic, she said.
Right, so that little bit there is her voice. So I've highlighted it. I click Effect, Pitch and Tempo, and Change Pitch. And the percentage change, if it's a negative setting, that means you will deepen the voice. So you don't want that in this instance. So what you need is just a normal plus setting, if you like, without the plus. So it's not a negative value. And I've got a percentage change of 6% here, 6.000. I'm just going to change that, just wire it up a little bit to 7, let's say, and click Apply, and the pitch has been changed. Let's just hear that.
I'm Vic, she said. Vic Phillips.
And let's just change the second part as well. So Effect again, Pitch and Tempo, change pitch. It's retained the 7% value that I had a moment ago, which is good, makes it easier. Click Apply. So let's just play that back again.
I'm Vic, she said. Vic Phillips. Vic? Grant looked confused. Short for Victoria, she explained.
So there we go again. There's another piece of her dialogue there, so click Effect. And what I can do now, I know that the value will be the same, 7%, because once it won't change that until you change it. So all I need to do this time is just click Effect and repeat change pitch, because it gives you that option for the last effect that you applied. If it was some other effect, it would say repeat limiter or whatever effect you might have been using, but change pitch was the last one. It gives you that option, so I just click that. It's a little bit quicker, it's one less click at least. So there we go. I'll continue from there.
Short for Victoria, she explained. Ah, I see. Sam Grant. How long have you all been here? Vic gestured to the two men. Robert Moore and I have been here since January, and Eddie Holton arrived about 3 weeks later.
Okay, so let's change that part because that's her voice again. Effect, repeat change pitch.
The two men. Robert Moore and I have been here since January, and Eddie Holton arrived about 3 weeks later. What about the others? He asked, looking beyond the trio. The Chinese couple have been here for about 2 months and don't speak a word of English, and the Filipinos...
Okay, so we'll highlight that part. That's her final bit of dialogue in this little sample that we've selected. Effect, repeat change pitch, and let's just hear that last bit again.
The Chinese couple have been here for about 2 months and don't speak a word of English, and the Filipinos...
Okay, now you can, of course, experiment with this. I've selected a 7% value. If you wanted to change that, either increase it or decrease it, then what you need to do is highlight that section and just go back so that you undo it, then click the Effect button and don't click repeat change pitch. Select pitch and tempo again, click Change Pitch and amend your value to 6 or whatever you wanted it to be. Maybe more, maybe less. And apply, and it will have the 6 value, which won't sound very much different from the 7, but it will do a little bit.
The Chinese couple had been here for about 2 months and don't speak a word of English, and the Filipinos...
So there you are. The change pitch effect will raise your voice, but I suggest you use it with a little bit of restraint because you don't want the voice to sound as if the character has just sucked in air from a helium balloon. If you overdo it, the voice won't sound authentic. If you don't use Audacity as your recording and editing software, I would imagine that other apps have a similar effect that you can use to do the job. Well, I hope you found that useful, and if so, please remember to click the like button and please subscribe, free of charge of course, to my channel so that you can keep an eye out for more videos that I'll be releasing in the coming weeks and months. Thanks for watching, bye for now, and see me again soon.